And good evening once again. Day 1239 of the Trump administration. Now 145 days remaining until the presidential election. There are now loud calls for police reform across our country. And today, the president doubled down on law and order and what he calls dominating the streets. And today offered something of a plan for police reform.
They want to get rid of the police forces. They actually want to get rid of it. Instead, we have to go the opposite way. We must invest more energy and resources in police training and recruiting and community engagement. We have to respect our police. We have to take care of our police. They're protecting us.
Trump made those comments at a roundtable discussion with law enforcement, faith leaders, small business owners at a megachurch in Dallas. It was billed as an opportunity for him to announce the administration's plan for holistic revitalization and recovery after George Floyd's death. During the conversation, the president, avoiding any mention of George Floyd by name, also focused on what many say is systemic bias within police forces.
We have to work together to confront bigotry and prejudice wherever they appear, but we'll make no progress and heal no wounds by falsely labeling tens of millions of decent Americans as racist or bigots. We have to get everybody together. We have to be in the same path, I think, Pastor. If we don't do that, we have problems, and we'll do that. We'll do it. I think we're going to do it very easily. It'll go quickly, and it'll go very easily. We want compassion. We want everything. What happened 2 weeks ago was a disgrace when you see that. We're dominating the street with compassion because we're saving lives and we're saving businesses. We're saving families from being wiped out after working hard for 20 and 30 years.
Dallas Morning News notes that today's event, quote, excluded the top 3 law enforcement officials in the county. Police chief, sheriff, district attorney, who all happen to be black. In terms of actual policy, Trump says he'll issue an executive order to encourage departments to follow the most current professional standards on use of force. Meanwhile, the decision to use force to clear protesters from Lafayette Square last week continues to roil the Pentagon and strain relations with the White House. In fact, our network is reporting Army General Mark Milley, chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, famously seen walking into Lafayette Park wearing camo battle fatigues, weighed the idea of resigning over the criticism of his role in the operation, which, of course, concluded with that awkward photo op with a Bible at St. John's Church. Afterward, General Milley reportedly spent hours looking at social media, reading news articles. He saw dozens of people calling him out for showing up in combat fatigues at a peaceful civilian protest. Today, he apologized for his participation. It was in the form of a video he made for graduates of the National Defense University.
As many of you saw the result of the photograph of me at Lafayette Square last week, that sparked a national debate about the role of the military in civil society. I should not have been there. My presence in that moment and in that environment created a perception of the military involved in domestic politics. As a commissioned uniformed officer, it was a mistake that I have learned from.
The Pentagon has now ordered an after-action investigation into the National Guard participation in that operation on Monday last week. Meanwhile, the public health crisis that has engulfed our country since February now raising new alarm for good reason. As coronavirus cases that we know of move north of 2 million and deaths are now over 114,000. The COVID Tracking Project finds, quote, the pandemic is splitting in two. As COVID-19 recedes from the initial U.S. epicenters in New York and New Jersey, cases continue to grow in the southern and western United States. For the first time since April 1, there are now more cases of COVID-19 in both the South and West than there are in the Northeast. 21 of our U.S. states are seeing a rise in new cases, Tennessee among them. The mayor of Nashville now taking precautions, delaying what's called phase 3 of their reopening plan. Hospital admissions for COVID-19 also rising in about a dozen of our states right now. Arizona, very hard hit, now experiencing a second week of sharp increases. That state's Department of Health says ICU hospital bed usage approaching 80%. And this all comes as one health expert is issuing an alarming prediction about fatalities because of the virus.
Over the next 3 months, we will cross the 200,000 mark. We're at about 113,000 now. So sometime in September, we're going to cross 200,000. And we still won't be done, right? This pandemic is going to be with us till next spring or summer when we have a vaccine.
New fears about a resurgence of the virus, coupled with a grim prediction on economic recovery by the chairman of the Fed that received very little notice yesterday when he said it, pushed stocks down today. The Dow dropped 1,861 points, nearly 7% of its total volume, worst session in 3 months' time. The economy still losing jobs, although at a slower rate. 1.5 million people filed unemployment claims just last week. Over 44 million of our fellow citizens were put out of work over just the past 12 weeks. The White House has taken note of concerns about a new wave of coronavirus cases, possibly triggering another lockdown. Well, today the Treasury Secretary said that's not happening.
We can't shut down the economy again. I think we've learned that if you shut down the economy, you're going to create more damage. We have Main Street, which is going to be now up and running, and we're prepared to go back to Congress for more money to support the American workers.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.